Hi, welcome to another edition of Lederhosen Salesforce. This one is on territory reports, how to, and it's because of my friend Tim who was just promoted to a VP. Tim, here are the key things to watch. One is it multi-currency? Do you have forecasting enabled, right? Is your price book current? Are your roles current? So the 15 people reporting to you, is your role VP or district manager? Super easy in Salesforce to change it, but very often it doesn't. And then you don't have the right reports to up-report and see who's performing, who's not, or who's poaching in your territory. And then the last thing is, what are the territory settings and what are the ex-employees' sales? So, it's like a holistic approach. It's not just, let's look at the reports, right? What Christopher did or Volker or whatever, right? So it's that kind of a thing. So let's look at my dev org. I have it here in Lightning. You go to setup. You go here to the setup tab over here, right? And then you type in, what do you want to type in? Oh, here we go. First off, do you have multi-currency enabled? That is in company, and it's only enabled in Chrome. So you go here, you can check it, right? It's a simple checkbox right here, right? And then you can see things like over here, like what are the settings? How are the settings? What's the time? How many users do you have? How many licenses do you not have? You could put a bunch of partners in here. This all shows everything here. Everything you need to see, right? And that's what's so great. First thing is, do you have multi-currency? Most of us do international. I did international for 20 years. So here, for instance, you go, oh, click, multi-currency enabled. And then there's all sorts of settings on, when is it set up? When do you do the convert, right? So that your Euro division can go report into dollars, if you are responsible for that. Secondly, let's take a forecasting hierarchy. Is forecasting enabled? And is it correct? In forecasting, you need to make sure your roll-up, just like your importing roll-up, is correct. And this is a demo here to show that here, right? So like, for instance, if the VP of marketing, should that be reporting up that way in the territory, or is it different? Ask to check that, right? Because if this isn't right, the senior people at the $100 million level aren't going to see what you're doing correctly or incorrectly. You need to check this right away, right? And then forecasting settings, like, okay, is it by product? Do you want a new type of forecast, like by the product SD-WAN or a Lederhosen by quantity or by revenue, Lederhosen by date, scheduled date? What is it that you want additional forecasting to cover, right? That way you're in front of it versus they telling you what to forecast. This is straightforward to enable. See how easy it is here with the clicks? This is how you enable forecasting. It's that easy. But there's a lot to it because it rolls up in the organization. Are the roles correct? Is the territory correct? We're going to cover that in a little bit. And here, for instance, what are the products? Well, I don't have any products in my dev org, not even Lederhosen pants. And here, what are the fields you want to display up and back, right? Super easy to do, but you have the power, and you as a new VP can do this, or new as a district manager or the regional manager, right? This is how easy it is. So when you talk to your admins, don't have them tell you it's difficult. You want a new type of forecasting on the product you're chosen? This is how you do this, okay? So, and then you just say, okay. So what's the next thing we want to cover? The next thing is, oh yeah, I need to exit out of this, right? You notice this stuff here? Like, you can do it by revenue, by opportunity. You can do it by product, by quantity, right? So let's do territory review next. Is your territory set up correctly? If they have territory, a lot of companies don't have territories. But if it's set up correctly, you can do a pick list, which is brutal. I recommend not doing that, because if all 246 countries aren't in there, this doesn't go, right? It's better to do it a different way by territory settings, right? And then here you can enable enterprise territory management. It, again, very flexible, like you can see here. I just enabled it for my org of 1. That's me, myself, and I. Well, actually, it could be 3. I know. Yeah, but you go opportunity management, assignment, etc., right? And like in roles, you can have case roles, you can have territory roles, you can have default sales teams here. But this is the settings for the default levels and for territory management. Now, the next thing, right, is your territory, if you have territory in Salesforce, is it fixed? Have it checked. If you can't have this access like right here, get an admin to give you a walkthrough. Oh, right? Now let's do a schedule for a product. So the way forecasting works is there's a price book, right? And then there's a product. If you're responsible for SD-WAN products, Tim, are the prices correct, right? And it's not in the settings. Price book is an object. See the previous video on structure of Salesforce. And this is the object right here, right? So right here is the object. You go up and down. It's in the object manager. It's not in setup. It's in the object manager. And then a price book has products assigned to it, or you push products into it, right? So if you have product forecasting, is the pricing and product forecasting correct? Right? So here's how you find it. You go up to the upper left, you go to App Launcher, you type in price, you go here, boom, I'm in the price object, price book. There it is. That's the price book object right here. And you can click over here. Is it active? Yes, right? And let's find out what is related. Oh, do we have any price book entries? No. Let's add a product. Here's some dummy products. This is a dev org, it's generators. This is, right? Let's just add some here. And that's how this works. If you're doing product, and all of a sudden my price book, Lederhosen parts and accessories price book has a generator and, you know, and service level agreement, and it's active, as you can see here, right? And then it's a standard price list. It's key, right? This is key. You just check that. Check if that's done. If not, you can do it really easily like I just showed you. So let's check this. Multi-currency, price book, etc. Let's take a look at the next thing, which is reports. So here I'm in the reports, and this is enlightening. And what you do is up here, you type in your previous employer, the person you replaced name, or you type in by role, like VP reports, regional reports, to find the reports that you want to do. See, and in Lightning, everything, the contacts, the reports, everything comes up. This is my personal org now. This is why I love it. See how reactive it is? And this is the kind of report you want to have. See here, for instance, these are all the reports, and this is actually my personal thing, like opportunity reports by type, like things like that. So search in the reports, save it into your private folder so nobody can see it, and then play with it, right? Recent reports, created by you, right, etc., etc. When you save a report into your private folder, nobody else can see it. This is in Classic now. Do you see how it's the same sort of thing over here? And then you just look here and you can type in like maybe previous employee that you replaced, name. Or typically they'll have that in here. Or territory, or quarterly report, or opportunity report. You just type that in here, and here are all the selections. Right? So it totally rocks. But I prefer Lightning because of the capabilities. And let me show this to you here in the next one. I'm going to switch over into my other personal org, personal org, So I was just showing you the dev org. I think this is my personal org. Is it? No? Oh, I wanted to show you roles. Let's show you roles. Why are roles important? Because when you get promoted, right, to VP, the roles underneath you need to be correct, because that's how up reporting works, right? So up reporting works that way. So it's not about me, Jorgen. It's about me, VP of sales, with 15 sub roles, etc. So this is how you check that, right? Notice here, I'm just system admin and I have no role. I need to be sure that I'm assigned the right role. And when you get promoted with a company using Salesforce, is your role correct? Because once your role's correct, you can see all these reportings, and all the sub people, sub roles, you can see what they're doing, right? Especially if you're in sales. This typically is sales. So here, for instance, this is, I just have, this is my dev org here. So this is the example of, now I'm the role of whatever, but my permissions are still admin, right? So that's key. Well, so territory reports, how to? Promoted to VP, you got to check a lot of things. Roles, multi-currency, forecasting, territory. The most important thing is roles. Is your role correct? Because it's easy. Price books, are the prices correct? Right? Territory settings. And with that, I want to say thank you so much. Please subscribe and check for poaching. You can have poaching things. Who's poaching? Like if you have a deal from Germany and all of a sudden the Germans have the same thing, check. You can run the reports. But that's another segment. I have a forecasting thing. It's easy to set up. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to Lederhosen Salesforce.